Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Zoo. The minion with me this evening is Adam.
Hello.
And as it is once again a Friday, I am the keeper for this evening, Sanguine. How are you doing tonight, Adam?
I'm doing all right. It's kind of chilly out, but keeping warm.
Yep.
Uh, How are you doing?
Yeah, I've had a week that's a bit of a kick in the nuts because I had my catalytic converter stolen, my dishwasher broke, and just today I ended up blowing through several alarms and got 4 hours more sleep than I was intending to, which has me set substantially back in the day. But other than that, I'm doing well. I'm surviving, still alive, all that good shit. So I'm now just here to be able to blather and bullshit with you, as well as after stream, I'm going to figure out what the hell I'm going to be eating for dinner. I think I already have decided what I'm going to have, though, so I'm not too terribly worried about that.
Oh shit, you haven't
I
even.
I just woke up like an hour and a half before show. I
Oh,
haven't done
okay.
anything.
Damn.
Yeah, like I said, I ended up sleeping 4 hours that I had not intended to sleep.
So in the future, pretend you're Terry Salt. In the future, what would you be making?
So what I think I'm going to make tonight is I'm going to take some of the leftover corned beef that I have, some potatoes, some mushrooms, some onion, and chop all of that up. Dry fry my mushrooms so that they drive the moisture off, caramelize the onion a bit, bung that all into a pot with some homemade mushroom broth that I still have knocking about, and let that bubble away until I have this nice, hearty soup.
Oh, nice.
And that's going to be my dinner for the night. Yeah, the only thing that I've eaten thus far is I tried a type of orange that it was the first time that I had seen it. It's a variety of navel orange, but it's a green skin navel orange.
Does it does it taste different, or is it like a crossbreed with a
It
lime?
was a little bit sweeter, but it was really good. Nice and juicy, slightly sweeter. First time seeing that at my local store, so while I was there, decided to get it. And that was also one of the interesting things because the uh, car issue, I ended up having to walk like 6 miles in the morning in order to knock out some errands.
Damn. And I'm pretty sure you guys got some cold weather up there, right?
Oh, it was snowing while I was walking.
Oh, great.
So, did a 6 mile walk in the snow.
Holy shit.
Got groceries, knocked out another errand, and then walked home. It wasn't a terrible walk, but yeah, it was a interesting morning to say the least.
I'll say. Yeah, this cold weather is getting annoying, man.
See, I love the cold weather. It's just the son of a bitch that stole my catalytic converter that I'm pissed at.
I mean, that is kind of impressive that he took the dedication to uh steal it in such weather.
Well, it was in the locked garage
Oh.
for my apartment complex,
Oh. So
which
do you think it was somebody from the apartment complex?
those are the people that have access to that garage.
Or somebody adjacent to them?
The Yeah, it would have to be either someone who lives here or someone who had access to the garage key, which means that they're living with someone.
Yeah.
that lives here normally.
Or a friend.
But or a friend. Long story short, though, someone cut out the caddy on it, so I contacted my landlords and I went, hey, just to let you know, this happened in your locked garage. If you have more than the 2 cameras that I know you have in that garage that got any sign of it, let me know.
Yeah, are there cameras in there?
There's 2 cameras that I know of, which means that there's more likely than not several that I don't know of. And unfortunately, the 2 that I know of just point towards the 2 doors. So that might still pick up something if they were dumb enough to walk out with the caddy under their arm.
Well, I mean, to get it out, they'd have to have a saw, right? So, I mean, they'd have to have something.
Yep. But they could have had that all in their vehicle rather than bringing it in the door.
That is true.
So, like I said, though, if you see 2 cameras, there's bound to be more than those 2 cameras.
Yeah, the hidden ones.
Yep. So I'm hoping that they do actually look at the footage. They're able to figure out who the fuck it was. They report it to the police to let them deal with it, as well as just kick the motherfucker out of the building.
Yeah. Hey, we got some people in chat.
Yep. Hello, chat. I see Rotten Corpse out there, Green Badger, and Keeper Down.
Yeah. Rotten Corpse seems to be making a stew as well.
Yep. How are all of you doing out in chat tonight?
Yeah, hopefully better. Although it sounds like, or it looks like Rotten Corpse has car issues as well.
Yep. Only his is from a rodent of sort chewing through shit. Which just makes me think of when I was an EMT and we would have to, first thing when going out to check our trucks, we'd have to go around and thump the hood of the truck as well as the side, because if we didn't, there was a fair chance that when we started up the truck, we would end up ejecting shredded squirrel from the truck.
Would they like sleep up there or something?
Yeah, during the winter, the squirrels, when you stopped running the ambulance, they would climb inside the ambulance for warmth. Because the engine had just stopped running. So when you then started up the engine, it would suck the squirrel. And then you just have squirrel bits get kind of shotgunned around your vehicle from the squirrel getting absolutely shredded by a engine block.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
It's one of those weird things that you don't think of until you end up having to experience it, and then you're going, oh, what? Okay, that's something fucked to know now.
Yeah, don't do that again. Or, yeah, watch out for that.
Yeah. So it was just a thing that when you went out to start up the ambulance and do your checks on it, one of the first things that you'd do is you would walk up to the hood of the ambulance and you would just thunk on it a fair bit. That way, if there was a sleeping squirrel in there, you would wake it the fuck up. It would get the hell out of your engine block before you started it.
Unless it was in there purposefully, and it was hoping that you would not knock.
Suicidal squirrel.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? Fuck this. I gotta end it all. And he was just sitting there, and he's like, yeah, I heard Carl died the same way. I'm gonna go try it this time. And he just went
Somehow, I don't think that matches the song. I don't think that suicide is painless.
Well, MASH was a favorite TV show of his, so kind of
Of
the
course,
two
the
kind of clicked.
squirrels like mash. Hey, Kefki.
Oh, goober. Yeah, like
Yep.
goober peas.
Yep. Which you just found out what that meant.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin
And Prospero.
and Prospero. Yeah, two different
Because
things.
Prospero is the one who gave you the etymology of the word. Yeah, it's unfortunately the mechanic didn't send me a pic of the connector, but my truck is fixed, so I'm happy about that. Oh, that's very good to hear. Yeah, I had to once I found out that the catalytic converter was stolen, contact the police as well as my insurance company, and now my insurance company's dealing with getting the information from the garage so that then they can sign off on the repairs. Unfortunately, I found out though that my vehicle is one of the most popular vehicles in the United States in order to steal catalytic converters out of.
Really?
Yep.
No,
It's
actually, Kefki, I'm sorry. We are just about to close up shop. You joined right at the last minute.
I'll quickly shoot you the link, Kefki.
Ah, man, she's gonna yell at me for this.
Yep.
So your insurance company is gonna at least your car is gonna get at least repaired up.
It should, because with someone else cutting it out criminally, that isn't my fault. So insurance should cover that. Though it'll cost me $500 for the privilege of having my insurance cover that.
Oh, well, there you go. See, I told you were gonna pay for it somehow.
Yep.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they were saying, "Well, how exactly did you park? Did you park with your rear end poking out, or did you make it easy for them to get the catalytic converter? Did
Which
you wear a short dress?"
I have that already settled because I was parked in a locked garage.
Well, I mean,
And
get
a
around
locked
those locks.
garage is pretty much the safest that you can be when it comes to that.
A chastity belt.
Apparently, there are certain security devices that you can have installed
In your panties?
for your catalytic converter.
Oh, oh yeah. I was still thinking about the joke.
Yep.
Um, oh, that's. I mean, that's kind of sad that we got to put fucking eye trackers on our catalytic converters now.
Yeah, there's some trackers that you can have on them, as well as things like the caddy strap is apparently a device that makes it more annoying to try to cut the catalytic converter out. Hey, Kefki.
Hello.
Oh,
Thank
goes.
you, Moses.
Yep.
Hi, Kevki.
Did you hear something? I thought I heard something.
Wow.
Hey, Adam.
That is such a goober reaction. I can't believe it.
I know you had such a goober reaction to
No,
that.
no,
You
not
can't
me.
blame you.
Nice.
That's not a fair reversal.
Wait, what?
See, you know your judo well.
I do love that reference.
A succulent Chinese meal? Well, hey, that's what you were trying to make, right? No, well, no, you were making a stew.
I'm making a stew today. If I'd woken up on time, I might have decided to make Asian, but today it is just going to be a stew because stews are easy and delicious.
What kind of stew you making?
I'm have some leftover corned beef, so I'll be cubing up that, tossing it in with some sauteed mushrooms, onions, a bit of cabbage, some homemade mushroom stock, splash of beef stock.
Nah, sorry about that. My headset was being really loud. That sounds
Okay.
good though.
I was wondering what the scratching.
Yeah, is it still, is it giving an echo or anything? Because it is like, oh my
I thought it
god.
was just Lothi laughing in the background.
Yeah, we're hearing a scratching noise. It sounds like something's just running its nails on your mic.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks. That's the volume button. I don't know why it's clawing. I wish it wouldn't do that. I'm done now, though. Sorry
Okay.
about that. For now.
Not a problem. But yeah, so it'll be all of that tossed into a pot, set to bubble. And then I'll probably thicken it with some mashed roast garlic and a little bit of. I might end up making a roux, but definitely
That sounds good.
flour, or just definitely the roast garlic mashed up so that it gives that nice flavor. And garlic really thickens stuff when you have it prepped like that.
Garlic is good, though. Garlic makes a lot of things better.
Yep. Garlic is delicious.
Oh,
Garlic
yeah.
and salt. They both go, and they go well together, too.
Yep.
Like, what about my favorite things to eat has always been just noodles with a little bit of butter, some garlic, and some salt. And then sometimes you throw in mozzarella cheese, and the mozzarella cheese makes it even better. It's so
Yeah.
good.
It goes together like lamb and tuna fish.
Like clam and tuna fish?
No, lamb.
Lamb and tuna fish?
Yeah. Okay. What, you prefer spaghetti and meatball?
Tuna fish doesn't go with lamb.
Depends on the
is
meatball.
The issue, I think.
Yeah, and it depends on the meatballs. The meatball made from the lamb and the tuna, because I don't think that's going to go very well together. I'm
That'll
like
be a bit
Moses.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You can have lamb and tuna as part of the same meal, but you don't mix them together. That's just fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I
Kind of
can't wait to see.
shit you been eating, Adam? What kind
Hey.
of stuff do you prepare in your kitchen?
People in the future, if you hear that, write in the comment section what that reference is from.
Go back to the standards. Just cook the baby goat in its own mother's milk. Be happy with that.
Jeebus!
Whoa.
Jeebus! Don't cook the baby goat. Don't cook the baby goat.
They're delicious.
Oh God, but they're so cute.
Yeah, but they're delicious.
Is it like a veal?
You don't cook all of them. You just cook as many as you can eat. And then you have the others to go, oh, aren't they cute? And then you have the ones that you cooked to go, aren't they delicious? If you cooked all of them, then you wouldn't have any future baby goats to cook. Nor would you have the mother's milk to boil your baby goat in.
Okay, look. I prefer to let my goats live their life for a long, long time before I eat them. You
Then
know,
the meat gets tough.
that's okay because it's exercise for your jaws. You just chew. There you go.
I prefer my meat to be nice and tender, which means baby goats, baby sheep.
But that's what. Okay, wait. Hear me out. Get a meat tenderizing hammer and just beat the shit out of that stuff. That's what I do.
Do you not like lamb?
I don't eat lamb. No, I've
Never?
never ate lamb.
Never had a gyro?
Lamb's delicious.
Yeah,
You're
pretty good.
saying that like I'm just gonna let you know the way you said that. I'm not a lamb. I'm a ferret. So I'm just putting that out there.
Well, we
You know,
didn't
you
say
sound a little crazed right there. So,
we didn't say ferret meat sounds good.
hey. No, we don't
I
even
have
joke
had
about
guinea
that.
pig.
Oh God,
You can eat guinea pig?
Yeah.
poor Ginkins.
Mesoamericans eat guinea pig all the fucking time.
Whoa.
Mesoamericans?
Yeah, the Central and South.
Central South.
We don't eat no guinea pigs.
Near
Not that
Central
Not-
south, you dum-dum.
Mexico.
Not
Dum-dum.
the South
Adam,
of
stop eating
America.
guinea pigs.
I'm not eating Mexico. Awesome.
But yeah, Mesoamericans eat
That's
guinea
racist.
pigs quite often. And guinea pigs can be quite tasty.
No, they're cute. They're too cute to eat.
Hey,
No, they aren't.
Mesoamericans also ate like those acicatls or whatever the hell they are.
Axolotls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those little newt things.
Those are cute
Axolotls.
too. What is the deal?
I
Why
ate them in
people?
tamales.
That's awful. We should stop eating things that are cute.
Things can be delicious too. And no, we can continue eating cute things as long as they taste good.
And you know what? I
If
hate
they
to say it,
didn't want to be eaten, they shouldn't be made of meat.
if the Japanese ate them, they would have made them into cute little food bits. So if you ate an axolotl in Japan, it would look like an axolotl.
Oh, the same thing happened in China. So there's a Chinese restaurant that I went to the first time that I went to China in Xi'an that has over 1,000 different flavors of jiaozi. And part of their shtick is that they make the jiaozi look like whatever animal or whatever thing is inside the jiaozi. So if you're eating a frog jiaozi at that restaurant, it's shaped like a frog. If you're eating chicken jiaozi, it's shaped like a chicken. So all kinds of interesting animal shapes.
I don't know why nobody want to be eating no frog. Frog legs is gross.
Frog is delicious if it is done right.
And that's how we know you're not from the good state of Louisiana.
No, I ain't from Louisiana, but I've had many a frog leg and I've hated them all. Yeah.
They must have been cooked wrong.
They were fried.
Because she's from Tennessee. There's a stark difference there. If we have different types of whiskey from Kentucky to Tennessee, just from the river flow. Yeah, I think I'd trust someone from the Creole to be able to cook me some frog legs.
Yeah, frog legs are delicious.
My aunt was from Louisiana, and I still didn't like the frog legs.
Oh, okay. Well, I rescind my accusation.
Ha 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 ha. Ha.
Ha.
Ha. Sorry, Moses, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Swamp puppies are also delicious.
What the hell's a swamp puppy?
Swamp pump.
Gators.
God damn it! Now that you said
Swamp puppy gators.
swamp puppies are alligators. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
gator.
gator?
Yeah.
Gator is actually pretty good. I
Like
had
an
some gator
alligator?
gumbo. Yeah.
No, hold on. An alligator's from New York. I'm sorry,
Not from
that was
the
a bad
sewer. You don't eat the sewer ones.
No, he's from the alley.
Cryptic, I do not need to know about the swamp butt.
Swamp
I
butt?
don't need to know your problems like that.
Oh,
That's
man.
just that's
Especially
just
on a hot day.
I learned what that was at the last Halloween thing. I went to it. I wish I didn't because, dear God, ew.
Yeah, just imagine having swamp butt and then you gotta talk to this cute girl and you're like, oh no. Just gonna see the fog from the swamp butt. That was bad.
It's not
So
fun
many-
being at a table with like 6 guys and they all have swamp butt. You're trying to focus on playing werewolf. You can't because the noxious fumes of the table and
Ooh, the bog.
yeah, the
bog of
bog.
external stench. Wait. So you've had alligator? What does it taste like?
It's kind of chickeny, but it's like a briny chicken.
I wouldn't say chicken flavored. I mean,
Grimy?
Briny.
no,
Grimy? What is brimy like? The barnacle
salty.
stuff? Oh,
Yeah, it's
Salty.
a bit salty, and brine is so. Let's see. Pickles are brined.
Oh, okay. So like vinegary.
It has a slight acid, slight bit of salt to
Yeah.
it.
It also
So
depends on how it's cooked.
yeah,
But
it
Yeah.
does.
If
but
you
Because
chicken.
marinate it.
gator
Hold
nuggets
on, dude.
and
Wait. Is that why Popeyes adds pickles to their chicken sandwich?
the
Because it's
pickles to the
actually a
chicken
gator
sandwich
sandwich. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
just delicious. That's how you make amazing chicken because it adds the right bit of acid, the right bit of salt, adds some additional flavor. It's just good eating.
That's a good comparison somewhere between chipkin and fish.
Yeah,
Yeah, a gator is somewhere between. It's kind of like frogs' legs are that way too, but they lean. Everybody says it tastes more. It's like chipkin. To me, it leads me more toward an old catfish or something that ain't been cooked good. It just got that real bleh, fishy taste to it. It's not very good.
Well,
oh, then you didn't have really fresh ones then.
I want to
Because
try
just
catfish.
like fish, the older it gets, the fishier it tastes.
Yeah,
If you have really fresh, it doesn't taste fishy.
yeah. And like you said, yeah, fish is that way too. Like the catfish, I love catfish if it's fresh.
Yep.
If it's been sitting there all day on a buffet bar, hell no.
Yeah.
Ooh, under the heat lamps.
Yep.
Yeah. Blah.
The older fish is, when it comes to how long since it's been pulled out of the water, the fishier it gets.
The only exception I find to that thing is salmon. I actually like salmon when it's been aged a bit, like marinated and aged a little bit. It tastes better that
Marinating
way.
is different. It takes time, but it isn't. That isn't the sort of older fish gets more fishy
Well,
because that's giving it a different flavor in
I
that
mean,
time.
even if it's like baked, you bake your salmon right, you stick it in the fridge. I think it tastes better like a little bit after it's been cooked and it just sits in the fridge for a while. I'm weird.
Yeah,
That's
that
only
might
with
just be
salmon though.
chalked up to you're weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things. The older fish gets, the fishier it tastes. Same thing with alligator, same thing with frog. But yeah, with alligator, it's kind of that cross between fish and chicken. And like I said, it has a brinier taste than chicken normally.
Mm. It tastes a lot like frog legs or frog. If you've never had frog, though, that description doesn't help. It depends on how it's
Yep.
cooked, though.
Yeah.
Really, it really does. Like my aunt, she put
An
it in gumbo.
alligator steak versus alligator gumbo versus alligator nuggets.
Yeah,
Entirely different experiences.
yeah.
Yo, so are there places down south that you can get alligator nuggets just like drive up like a bar restaurant type thing and just like yeah alligator nuggets and the because okay I only asked because that's how it was when I got the bison burger is we went to a restaurant like a
Mm-hmm.
restaurant pub thing and they had that was one of their selling points was a bison burger and I was like dude yeah
Ugh, that
um
sounds good. Bison burger.
yeah it was
Yeah,
delicious.
there's alligator places that you could go to. They aren't everywhere, but you can find alligator places.
All right, so
Hell,
the
you
next
can
minions
find
meet up after Tennessee we are going to fucking the south and we're gonna find these places. I'm gonna try alligator.
alligator places in Minnesota as well.
Are you serious?
The South? Are you talking about you want to go to New Orleans?
Yeah.
Where
I
Nolans
wouldn't
is
go to New
amazing.
Orleans. I wouldn't go to New Orleans.
Why not?
Oh Lord.
It's
Let's see some
certain
Cajun.
parts of Nolans are shit. Other parts are
Yeah,
amazing. You have to
yeah.
know the right parts of Nolans to go to. Also,
Don't go to Louisiana. Don't go to Louisiana though. I wouldn't go there.
if you're going to Nolans, then one place that you have to go eat is you have to go to Drago's. Not the city center Drago's. Go out to Metairie and go to the Metairie Drago's.
What's a Dragos?
Drago's is a restaurant run by a family down there,
Awesome.
and it
But no,
is
what kind of food is it?
amazing.
Like Southern food
It's
or Creole food? Or...
it's
Am I
a
using the term
bunch
right?
of different types, but it would be more along the lines of Creole and American, but there's a bunch of different dishes that you can get there, and their menu changes fairly frequently. One of the
Yeah.
best items on it, though, are their charbroiled oysters.
Ooh.
The
Oysters.
charbroiled oysters are amazing.
Um, Badger here says that the gator he had was battered and deep fried.
Yep.
That's kind of what I figured it would be. So or like in a stew, like you had said earlier. So I didn't think anything other than that. So I was like, oh, gator burger. That sounds good. It's good.
Yeah,
Burger.
you can get ground gator, but you can also do gator steaks.
Oh,
You can, which are just tail sections of the gator cooked
is it
up.
really?
Yeah. They take a round of gator tail, they cut out the bone, they cook it up. That's a gator steak.
If I recall correctly, there's not much areas on a gator you can get any decent meat
Well, that's
from.
why
It's pretty much the tail. Yeah.
The
that's why I was
tail,
like,
yeah.
when Sang said steak, like I was immediately trying to think, like, dude, what, like for one of those little legs, or like where else do you get the meat from?
That's where you would probably get the meat for your gumbo if you go for the legs. That's what you probably want to use it for, is
Yep.
stew or
I didn't
gumbo or
get the
something like
tail though.
that.
Yeah, and the tail's probably got to be really muscly, because that's where a lot of its moving power comes from, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. But it isn't overly tough if you cook it right.
Hmm.
So employ the tenderizer, as Kefki has stated.
Normally, you don't need to do that. It's just how you cook it and making sure that you don't overcook it.
That's if you go for the legs, I think, is where you'd have to use the tenderizer, if I remember
Sweep
correctly.
the legs.
If I remember right. I don't.
And even then, a good chunk of the time, you just end up blowing and slowing.
Mm.
Hey,
Because if you're doing like a gumbo, that's a fairly long cook for gumbo
Yeah.
in order to get all the flavors to blend. So you don't really need to tenderize if you're doing a low and slow.
Yeah, that's true.
whoa. Okay, what? Okay, here's a TV show pitch, right? Is Food Network still around? I don't think they're still around, but
I think
here's a
they are.
TV show pitch. Um, you take, because I was just thinking, what would you do if you took a bunch of Chicago, what's it called? That the barbecue festival that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you take those chefs, but you give them the ingredients of Creole, and then the same thing, you swap it with the Creole chefs, and you give them like pulled pork or whatever the fuck, you know, and see how, well, pulled pork is more Texan, isn't it? But yeah,
No, pulled pork isn't Texan. It's brisket's Texan.
oh yeah, brisket's Texan. But yeah, no, you swap them and see how they do, and see how they turn out.
So a cuisine swap.
Cuisine swap. Yeah. Trying to think too, like California chefs utilizing Tex-Mex stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
Tex-Mex chefs, like, you get straight out cowboys and like, all right, here you go, here's some California ingredients, make some of these dishes. And you're like, what in the fuck?
That's what I was just about to ask. Are you saying that you would have them make the dishes from whatever group you gave them the ingredients from?
Yeah, dude.
Or
Because
would you just give them the ingredients and say, make something?
okay, no, I just imagine like three big chefs in Chicago that sell like Chicago food, right?
Mm-hmm.
And um they're all of a sudden they're like, okay, here's a bunch of ingredients and recipes from these Creole restaurants. Let's see how you do with them.
Ah.
Mm.
Oh, I
And
thought
then
you
the
were gonna
same
have
thing
him
with the
make up
opposite.
something like a deep
Well,
dish,
that's what I thought as
crawdad
well.
gator
Well,
pizza.
you know what? That's how you add the that's the what I call the special power up move, right? Like for Mario is to add in, that alters things, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
you would add that as the last bit. It's like, okay, now that you know what these ingredients are, how to work with them, you guys make something from where you're at with these ingredients. Imagine like a fucking Chicago style dog with Creole ingredients, right?
Mhm.
So that type of thing.
You might be boring, Kefki.
I
Nah,
know.
I'm just
I am.
sleepy. Sorry. I was thinking he mentioned a Chicago dog. I was just wondering if he meant a hot dog.
Well, it isn't Chinese. Cryptic isn't the one talking about it, so
Whoa.
Ah, so it's a hot dog.
Oh shit! Yeah, we'd have to specify,
Hot
right?
dog gets
If
rabbit. Hot dog gets rabbit. Sorry. Three Stooges reference. Sorry.
mhm.
um. Well, no,
Cryptic,
yeah,
do you want to defend yourself because I tossed that out at you?
yeah. You want to join Cryptic?
Whoop 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 whoop.
But we didn't even have to alter it because I was just with the California bit. Would it be Chinese food as well? In terms of that, I mean, well, I guess Creole is also doesn't it have like French kind
Yeah,
of
Creole's
influence?
French influence.
Yeah,
That is, it's swamp French.
it's French.
Swamp
It's
French.
Shrek French.
Tell me I'm wrong that it's swamp French.
That's
That is
funny. I
what
like
Creole
that. Swamp
is.
French.
There is swamps out there, so you're not half wrong. um, and technically, yeah, like some Tex-Mex would have like obviously a Hispanic
Ugh.
influence. Um,
And because Cryptic said that he's hungry, Loki, run! Run right now! Get the fuck out of there! Continue. Sorry, I just had to interject that when I noticed he said that he was hungry.
no one will be eating the ferret tonight.
Loki's cat.
Yeah, I was talking about
Cryptic's cat. Loki, not
Cryptic's
Lodi.
cat.
Oh,
Lodi's not a ferret.
I thought he was connecting the two. Loki, Kefki.
My
I'm-
name's not Loki.
I know.
I don't
Oh,
think you know my name, Adam. I
Look,
think
I
after all
just-
this time you don't know my fucking name. I'm so hurt.
I just
My
spent
peepees.
all that brain power explaining the show premise. So
Right. So you have no more brain power left, I see.
the ticker in the back of at the back is winding down. I'm gonna have to wind it up again soon.
He's flashing red.
Yeah. It took a lot out of me.
I just remembered something really stupid, and I'm trying to remember who said it. It was someone who got into fighting, and they said that one of the most disappointing things that they ever discovered was video games lied to them. When you punch the fat guy, he doesn't start flashing red.
You don't know when they start dying.
Yep.
I want to play Mike Tyson's Punch Out now.
Okay.
Do they blink in Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
No, I don't think so.
You can pop off their boxing shorts, though. At least
I
one
don't
of the
know.
enemies. The
That's
one
King
that
Hippo.
has. Yep.
King Hippo, yeah.
You punch him in the stomach, and his boxing shorts come off.
Yeah. I could never beat that game. I always got the crap knocked out of me by Mike Tyson.
Yeah, you have to learn Mike Tyson's tells and
Yeah.
make sure that you dodge exactly when you need to dodge.
My brother used to make fun of me because I'd always get stuck on Glass Joe. He's like, that's the easiest one. I'm like, no, it's not. No.
Cryptic, when you said punch a white dog or punch a hot dog, I was originally going Cryptic. You aren't a white girl. What do you mean a hot dog? And then you said the get the mustard. Okay. Though, anything interesting happened with you guys?
Let's see. I woke up, fell back to sleep. I woke up again, and then fell back to sleep, and then I found myself here. Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome.
Yay! That was my day.
Oh, you both are here after EPs.
Yeah,
I'm here after EPs.
after sleeping.
Oh, EPs. Oh, EPs. Yes, I did
Yes,
the EPs.
I inadvertently slept way too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Oh God.
one of those things. I hate whenever I end up oversleeping. It sucks.
Sorry. Oh. Did you have a rough day? You just had to go to sleep for a while?
I went to sleep a little bit later than normal, like I was telling Adam. I think it was right before you joined, but it might have been right after you joined. I did the 6 mile walk in order to do a bunch of errands today,
No. Jesus.
and then crashed when I got home. Ended up blowing through 2 alarms and didn't wake up until an hour and a half before showtime when I had intended to be up about 5.5 hours prior to showtime.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those, oh shit. I missed everything that I was intending on doing. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Adam? Anything interesting happen? Did you see anything interesting recently?
Um, yeah, actually, this is an odd, uh, again, I guess off topic type of. I guess we didn't really have a topic, but
Yeah.
it's an odd.
It's friends showing up at a bar. There is no topic, just bullshit.
Well, in that case, because I've been doing some doodling and sketching, and
Mm-hmm.
to have something on in the background, I found these. I guess they're the blocks of like somebody just recorded uh, hours of television. So you'll get like uh, Saturday morning cartoons from 1992 or something like that for 6 hours,
Nice.
shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I found one where it was like Nick at Night from I think it was like 82,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, okay, this is weird. So I'll just pop it on, and
Nick at Night
um,
from 82.
I think it was
There
82. I
was
don't
no
know.
Nick at Night in 1982.
I don't. I, that's what it said. I think it's what it said, or maybe
Nope.
92.
No, 92. It would have to be
Yeah,
92.
probably 92.
1982, there was no Nick at Night. Nickelodeon was straight up just a kids' channel.
Well, that's the thing. There was a lot of because they have the commercials on there too, so it was pretty trippy, especially when you're indulging in the finest weed and all the South Farthing.
Mm.
it,
No,
it
I know what you mean. I like to watch those channels. I like to watch the old retro commercials from those years
yeah,
too.
I like the old
Yep.
commercials. It's interesting to see how they did things back then. Um, but no, the TV shows. Um, Again, I don't know if it's because I've been, you know, watching a lot of this crazy, psyop shit. So I'm watching these shows and things are just popping out to me. But the one show that I've never seen before, but I've heard about it, um, I thought it had a different part to it, but it must have been a different show. I think it's called a Mod World. I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where that lady Twiggy comes from. I think that was that lady. But yeah, it was just a weird, just like a bit sitcom, and I'm watching it and I'm like, dude, people watch this shit
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. But then it just reminded me, I'm like, dude, that's exactly YouTube.
What was the last Cheech and Chong movie we watched?
Mm-hmm.
Up in
Cheech and
Smoke?
Chong.
Up in
Well,
Yeah,
I
Smoke,
there's
mean,
was that the title?
so many
There,
old shows that were a trip when you actually think about them.
well, I mean, because I've only heard about it, and I've only seen segments or like parodies of it. Like, it's referencing this. I've never actually watched an entire show, so I was sitting there drawing, and all of a sudden it just like popped up, and I'm like,
Hmm.
this is a weird, because it was a weird scene of um, like just like going around a party, like it was a obviously a high rise flat or something like that, or I don't know what they're called, but everybody's just dancing, and I'm just watching it, and they go to each person, and they all have something to say, and uh, some of them are making goofy jokes, and some of them are making political things like,
sorry.
why should we care about Vietnam, and we should just, bring our troops home and shit. And it's like, this is so weird. This is such a time warp, man. Like,
Hmm.
what are they gonna be watching decades from now? Our shit. Oh Lord.
I feel sorry for them.
Oh man. The records are gonna be bad. I mean, again, not to say that those were bad, but it was also interesting to see, how things were depicted in different areas. And I forgot that I used to really enjoy watching Dragnet for some reason. There's an episode of Dragnet on there, and I was like, "Whoa, I remember this show. This is awesome."
Did you still enjoy Dragnet?
Yeah, it was so fucking dry and humorless.
You know
Oh
what a
yeah,
good show to watch is? Get Smart. You should watch Get Smart.
Yes,
That's a
Get
Get
great
Smart.
Smart's
show.
great.
Get Smart's good.
Yes.
I
Dun,
I
dun,
love old
dun.
TV. Hey, that's why I have that outro. Like I love these old sitcom TV shows.
I
Taxi's my favorite, so I mean,
I kind of wish that we had another iteration of Dragnet and those sorts of shows. For a while, Law and Order was that
yeah.
sort of thing, but then they started making up the crimes rather than just looking at what's happened within the nation and from different police departments within the nation. And that was the appeal of Dragnet. Dragnet was slightly dramatized, but for the most part, it was at 10:25 we did X, Y, and Z, and 11:35 we did these four things. It
Yeah.
was very dry, but it was very dry in a way that made it fascinating because you actually felt like you were getting to see what it was like rather than it just being drama for the sake of drama.
Does anybody remember the musical police show? I think it was called Cops Rock. I never watched it, but it used to play like these
Hold on.
advertisements for it all
A
the time. And
musical police show?
Cops Rock, yeah. It looks so stupid.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. But a police musical sound.
Hmm.
Wait, is it a musical about police or police?
It had policemen and they were singing and rapping. Ah, see, thank you, Badger. Badger remembers Cop Rock. Ha ha ha! I never
You
watched it. I used to see the intro, not the intros, the advertisements
rock.
for it, the bumps for it. It was funny looking.
See, when you said that, the only thing that popped into my mind was that sounds like some Tequila and Benetti era sort of shit going on. Do you guys remember Tequila and Benetti?
Uh-uh.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Tequila and Benetti was a cop comedy drama about a detective and his dog partner. It was weird as shit because you could never tell whether anyone could understand what the dog was saying or not, and you weren't sure what the fuck was going on all the time. The cut-ins were amazing. The shit that the dog said was just weird as hell. Here, let me pull up a synopsis so I can read it off to you. The synopsis of Tequila and Benetti. The lead character of the series, Nick Benetti, is a policeman from New York who is proud of his Italian heritage. And yes, he was extremely Italian the entire fucking show. And very fond of his vintage rose-colored Cadillac convertible, which he inherited from his father. After he erroneously shoots a young girl during a gunfight, he relocates to a beachfront Los Angeles precinct on temporary assignment. Here he meets his new partner, Tequila, a large burrito-eating French Mastiff, and Officer Angela Garcia, who joined the department after her policeman husband's death, which she has kept a secret from her young daughter. Their boss is Captain Midian Knight, who is almost as interested in selling a screenplay as he is in police work. That was one of the weird side plots. The fucking chief of police was always trying to sell his... captain of the police department was always trying to get into script writing. The series shows their investigations of crimes and the evolving relationship between the characters. This show has the peculiarity that television viewers were able to hear Tequila's thoughts. The life is not easy for Benetti due to his remorse about the girl he shot and the strange habits of Californians whom he does not understand. His neighbors include a Puerto Rican psychic who hears Tequila's thoughts, but initially believes she is hearing spirits. Benetti develops a grudging respect for the people around him, as well as for Tequila, who, despite his faults, is an excellent police dog. The dog is portrayed as having human-level intelligence and a streetwise, sassy attitude.
Wow. Wait, what year was this supposed to come out?
This was 92 that this came
92? Out. I think I vaguely remember seeing somebody make a thing, like one of those YouTube videos where it's like, check out these shows that may have been or whatever. I think I vaguely remember hearing something about this. It sounds familiar. But yeah, it also sounds bad.
Oh, it was gloriously bad. It was that good kind of bad. But there's one more paragraph in this, and it just makes it all the better. Each episode has a montage during which Benetti plays piano. And viewers see odd, sometimes disturbing scenes featuring Benetti's neighbors and co-workers. Some of these scenes are from later episodes, while others remain unexplained. Each montage ends with Benetti's memory of shooting the girl in New York. And it is no shit every single montage. It would be Benetti playing the piano. And the dude can play the piano. And as he's playing the piano, he would see, like, his partner's husband getting murdered. And bits of various crimes and horrific experiences in his neighbors and the other characters' lives. And then the very end of it, every single fucking time, was Benetti raising his pistol, it zooming in on his pistol, the pistol firing, and then showing a dead girl.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Sadly, it only had 12 episodes. And only 10 of the episodes were ever aired.
Oh, that's so fucking morbid to end it with him just downing a poor child.
The best part is it would go from that to immediately, almost without fail, it would cut over to Tequila, the dog in the show, talking about how he wanted to fuck something or he wanted to eat something.
Oh God!
So it's this very somber, beautiful piano playing with disturbing imagery of the most horrific experiences in various characters' lives. Hard cut to Tequila looking at like poodle ass or something like that. And you would hear Tequila talking about how he wants to get with the dog.
Wow.
I never got to see that show. Also,
It is
hey Gray! Hug, hug, hug.
gloriously weird.
Oh Lord.
And that's why when you were talking about musical police, it made me think Tequila and Panetti.
Hmm.
Because it was just in that age of weird shit.
I
And yeah,
used to watch Alf a lot. That's the weirdest thing I think I
You
watched
watched
was
Alf?
Yes, I loved Alf. I had Alf plushie.
Assassin of the Grey remembers the show, so I feel better. I'm not the only one that remembers this. There's another one that I'm trying to remember what the fuck the name of it was, but if I remember the casting correctly, it was the guy that played Frankenstein that was the old man in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh yeah, he played Frankenstein, young Frankenstein. Yes.
Yep.
Well,
so
Frankenstein's monster. The monster he played.
Yes.
In Young Frankenstein.
It was.
I like that guy. I can't remember his name. Damn it.
Him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Peter Boyle. Oh,
Yes.
Assassin said it just as I. Yeah,
Peter Boyle. It was Peter Boyle was a grizzled police detective that was kind of a dirty cop that then gets gunned down and his soul enters the body of a dog. And he's trying to figure out who killed him and all the normal shit with that. But it's still a dog constantly perving on women. And you hear the dog's inner monologue about how he wants to fuck all the women. And it's Peter
Lord.
Boyle's voice talking
God.
about how he wants to fuck all these women. It was another dog cop show. It was weird.
I like Peter Boyle. I thought he was a really great actor. He was funny too. He did like dead, like the deadpan humor, or is it like he would say something that was just so fucking funny, but his expression would be just serious. Just serious, no laughter, no nothing, which made it even the more hilarious.
Yeah,
And
we've talked about this before, at least I've talked about it, where there were a number of movies early on that had very specific rules about comedy, and Peter Boyle observed a lot of the same rules. So, one of my favorite movies that use this as an example is the Val Kilmer spy movie, which I'm now blanking on the name of, even though I know this movie. I've watched it I don't know how many fucking times. It was Top Secret. So, in the movie Top Secret, the directors had a rule that you could have a joke up front or you could have a joke behind. And you couldn't have a joke in both. So it was one or the other. Also, every joke had to be told completely flat.
mm-hmm.
So you couldn't crack a smile. You couldn't act like you had said anything funny. It had to be that you would just say the line as if it was dead serious, because that improved every joke. Doesn't matter how basic of a joke it is. If you say it dead serious, it becomes far funnier than if it seems like you're trying to avoid laughing. A really good example of this is the classic Shirley, you can't be serious. I am, and don't call me Shirley. And then you just continue speaking without any sort of pause, without any sort of, that was a joke, people. Laugh. This is your time to laugh. But
Yeah.
so many comedies now give that laugh pause, which, even if a joke is funny, it kills the joke. It just absolutely kills it. Top Secret, though, had the fantastic joke in front, joke behind.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the best examples from that were in Top Secret. There's Val Kilmer, who's the male lead, and I can't remember the female lead, the actress who played the female lead, but there's a female lead as well. And they're in East Berlin, so they're dealing with the Stasi. And they're both spies. They're trying to get through this area. A Stasi officer ends up coming to talk to them as they enter a restaurant. But when they're entering the restaurant has a very strict suit policy in order to eat there. So you have to always have a suit coat. And since you always have to have a suit coat, if you don't have one, they'll provide one for you, which was fairly common for those types of places at the time. So as Val Kilmer is led off to the side by the maitre d' in order to get his suit coat, the woman is being interrogated, but it's that slightly pleasant but intimidating sort of being interrogated where it isn't obviously you're in danger, you aren't being detained, but there's that if you don't answer my questions, I can have you killed sort of intonation to it. You know what I mean by that?
Mm-mm.
So, have you ever seen a tense, like, mob movie where someone's asking someone a question, and it is you don't have to answer this question. You can tell me to go fuck myself. If you do, I'm going to kill your family. If you do, I'm going to kick the shit out of you. It isn't a official interrogation is what I'm saying. It's just this informal, very threatening sort of, come on, we're just having a polite chat. Ignore the fact that if you ever give me an answer I don't like, I'm going to ruin your entire life.
Oh.
But the female lead is being questioned by the Stasi, and it's a very serious conversation because, again, it's this intense conversation of, I'm pretty sure you're doing shit that you know that you can't do. I don't know that you are, though, so we're just asking you questions. And he's asking questions that make it seem more and more like he's on to them, which drives up the tension. Behind this, as this is happening, every time that it's a shot counter shot conversation style. So you look at the woman, then you look over at the Stasi, then it just keeps on doing that. Every time that it flips back to the Stasi, Val Kilmer is in the background. And it starts off with just when the conversation isn't really tense yet, in the background, it's just the maitre d' measuring Val Kilmer for suit coat. Then it cuts away to the woman responding, cuts back to the Stasi, and Val Kilmer is now in the white boxers with hearts as the maitre d' is fashioning a new suit from scratch for Val Kilmer. Then it cuts back to the woman answering, cuts back to the Stasi over his shoulder. Val Kilmer's dressed up as a mariachi. It cuts away to the woman, cuts back Val Kilmer's in some other, is like dressed like Liberace, cuts back, and it's just every time there's something else happening in the background with Val Kilmer, and that's where the joke is. But up front, it's just this tense conversation. Another good example of that from the movie is there's a massive fight, and the main character is fighting someone on a train. They end up tossing themselves from the train into the water that is below, and they sink to the bottom. They're both trying to drown each other. They're both still fighting. And they get to the bottom of the lake, and they land on a poker table at the bottom of the lake. And they're still fighting. They're still trying to kill each other. They kick, I think it was Val Kilmer was the one whose back was against the poker table. He kicks off the guy. The guy goes falling back, hits his back against a bar again at the bottom of a lake. Val Kilmer runs over, smashes him into the bar, tosses him down, and there's a barman just cleaning glasses behind the bar who steps back again. They're at the bottom of the lake during this intense fight scene, and it just, as the fight goes on, more and more of a Wild West saloon is at the bottom of this fucking lake for no fucking reason. So it's again that background, foreground joke telling.
Why is there a bar?
Because it's strange and it makes you laugh during this tense fight scene where you're originally going, oh God, is the main character going to die? And then you're starting to go, why the fuck is there this Wild West saloon down here? It's that snapping you out of the moment for a joke that makes it land. And I found out the name of the Peter Boyle cop dog show. It was called Puchinsky. It was a weird show again.
What kind of show is it?
Well, Puchinsky, it was another dog cop show. This was the one where Peter Boyle was kind of a philandering, maybe slightly dirty police detective that then gets killed in the line of duty. And he ends up in the body of a flatulent English bulldog.
Oh.
And this is the one where you keep on hearing Peter Boyle's thoughts, and Peter Boyle's just perving on fucking everyone. It was a weird thing. The only episode ever aired was its pilot episode.
What was it supposed to be on? Like NBC or something like that?
NBC.
Oh. Oh. It's always fascinating to find out these old TV shows that could have been.
Yeah. It was a weird show. Or rather weird one episode of a potential show. More accurate.
If you liked the movie Airplane, you probably like Top Secret. Yes, I like
Yep.
Airplane. I can't tell you anything about it right now because my brain is dead, except for every time I think of Airplane, though, I think of them inflating the co-pilot. No, was it the co-pilot? They were blowing up a co-pilot.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then and then the little kid sitting beside the woman, the little girl sitting beside the guy, and she's making these off-color jokes about how she likes her man, and it's just good God.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, there's the classic of chill, I speak jive. And it's just this old woman talking to the two black men, translating for the stewardess. It's such
That's
a
another one
fantastic
that I haven't
old movie.
seen in forever. I haven't seen the airplane movies in eons.
Yep, and Airplane was made. I think it was made by the same people that did Top Secret, wasn't it? Let me double check. Because I want to say it was. Let's see. So it was made by them. And yep, it was made by many of the same people, if not all the same people, that made Top Secret. Because it was the Kentucky Fried Movie people. So they did Kentucky Fried Movie, Airplane, Top Secret, Ruthless People, Naked Gun, From the Files of the Police Squad. And then apparently they went on to do some
people.
non-comedy stuff as well.
I can't remember. The Ruthless People seems familiar. I can't remember anything about it other than I think isn't that like the beginning of it has an animation and then it forms into the text of Ruthless People. Isn't there people like legs walking around or something? I don't know.
Ruthless
Maybe I'm thinking
People
of My Three Sons. I don't know.
Ruthless People was the one that had Danny DeVito, Bette Midler, Judge Reinhold, Anita Morris, Helen Slater, Bill Pullman.
Oh yeah, Otto the automatic pilot airplane. Yeah, yeah. Picked a hell of a day to stop sipping glue. Badger said they had a hand in the basketball also because that fucking heart's in the way. I can't see it.
I think
Movie,
he meant
I'm gonna assume?
basketball.
Basketball. The heart,
Well-
that heart I'm always bitching about. That's right, covering people's chat that needs to die. The heart, not the chat. The heart needs to die. Yes.
But the groove is in the heart.
And if the
No.
heart is chat's heart, then if the heart dies, chat dies.
It's
Yeah.
not chat's heart. It's YouTube's heart, and it needs to die. Stake it.
Picked it a hell of a
Picked
day.
a hell of a time to
Get
quit
methamphetamine.
methamphetamine.
Yep.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's.
No, I'm
I
ask
miss-
you for it. You don't have it. Sorry.
I miss those old style of comedies. I
Freaking
get
national shortage.
referential jokes are funny, and those old comedies had a lot of referential jokes. But the thing is, they had a lot of jokes that weren't referential jokes,
Mm-hmm.
whereas a lot of comedies now just seem to live and die off, do you get the reference? Do you get the reference? Do you get the reference? Do you get the reference?
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah. That's when it's too on the
Also,
nose, you know.
yeah,
you
and
mean funny ones? Yeah.
it makes it so that the shows have a limited shelf life.
Yeah, they date themselves
Yep.
very much, and yeah. Modern, I don't know. I don't find much modern comedy funny. I haven't watched many modern movies, so.
Yeah, it's because, like I said, they do the pause for the laugh, which you should never have a pause for a laugh. Just keep going. Don't say it like you're saying something funny. Just say it.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't have all your jokes be referential. Like, no one's ever going to go back and say, you know what movie I haven't seen in ages? Meet the Spartans. Because it wasn't a good movie to begin with. And also, even the jokes that did get a laugh out of people, they won't get a laugh out of people now. Because they're dated as shit. Whereas you will go and say, I haven't seen Top Secret in an age. I haven't seen Airplane in an age. I need to re-watch that. because the
Yeah.
jokes stand and fall on their own merits. There are some referential jokes, but they're occasional referential jokes rather than every joke is referential.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to make comedic moments for movies like a stand-up special, and that doesn't work.
Yeah, not at all.
You need to have it be set up so that you just let the funny happen, and you let the funny happen organically without trying to go, see, this is where the funny was. This is your time to laugh, people. Come on, laugh.
Well, that was kind of one of the things that threw me off with the that mod world thing
Yep,
was, like I said, they were saying things, and then it was the laugh track. It was an
yep.
obvious laugh track, and some of the bits were goofy. Like I could see it. Like haha. But to be honest, I think if I saw the Muppets doing it, it'd be funnier just because it's Muppets doing it, not
Yeah,
people.
because it makes sense when it's the Muppets doing it. And the Muppets doing it was a joke at the expense of other shows constantly doing that. Which is why they had Fozzie Bear, who had the Waka Waka. It was that we're making fun of weird catchphrases that just don't fucking work. And we're pointing out that this shit doesn't work, but because it's meant to be pointing it out, it's actually funny. And Joss Whedon had a lot of really good stuff that he did at various points. He also has a lot of shit stuff that he did at various points. And the more recent you get with Joss Whedon stuff, the worse it gets because he's trying to re-earn his way back in to the progressive structure.
Ooh.
Because there
Oh,
was legitimately funny stuff in Buffy and in Angel. Firefly's fantastic.
I love Firefly.
But
It's a great show.
yeah, then you look at more recent stuff and it's him trying to do that. And it's
You know what's a funny TV show? Monty Python's Flying Circus.
yep.
Y'all should go watch it. I love Monty Python's Flying Circus. Albatross. Sorry. I have it
Well,
all on DVD too. I have the whole big box set. I need to
and
find it.
again, Monty Python, it
Like
had
that.
some referential
Oh,
jokes,
oh,
but
there it
the appeal of Monty Python is
is.
that you don't need the referential jokes in order for it to be funny. The referential jokes are a minority of the jokes, not every joke.
Yeah. This is it. There's not many like it's mostly just preposterous silliness.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Like the fish slapping dance.
yep, I agree.
This is an ex parrot.
I did that. Okay, so I did that for my drama school class in high school, and so I had to do it. It was like this parent teacher thing, the show that they were putting on. So not only was I doing this stupid sketch for like the kids, but I was doing this for the parent teacher thing too. And I had to do that like for 2 weeks. I had to do that thing once almost every day. Like, yeah, I know the parrot sketch now, but yeah, yeah, it was, I know it pretty well. I always got stage fright though. Always got stage fright. And then sometimes Lodi would have to do the parrot sketch, and then everybody go, "Oh, they thought that I had a British accent," and then it's like, no. When I would talk normal, they'd be surprised, and stage fright. Anyway, run down the curtain and join the choir invisible. This is an experiment. Hadn't nailed him to the perch, he wouldn't be pushing up the daisies. Yeah.
Referential jokes are a thing. They shouldn't be all your jokes.
Yeah.
And you were saying something, Adam?
Was I?
Was you? I'm sorry.
Both you and I started saying something at the same time. You've ceded the floor to me, so I am now granting the floor back to you if you remember what you were going to say.
Indeed. Well, 7 years ago, our forefathers.
God damn it, Adam.
You had 4 fathers? You had
That isn't as
4
weird.
fathers? That's something.
That isn't as strange as the fact that there's a Norse god that had 8 mothers.
That
Okay,
is
but
true,
this
too.
is Adam. This is Adam here. He's not a Norse deity. How did you have 4 fathers, Adam? That's
Lots of
Hold
divorces.
on.
what?
What do you mean? What do you mean? This is Adam.
Yeah, this is
He doesn't
Adam.
have. He's. What is that? What are you implying there?
I'm implying that your name is Adam. And that you're an Adam.
How do you end up with that? Lots of divorces.
Ah. I thought he was pulling like a Freddy Krueger thing, son of a thousand maniacs. This is,
No, I just I find it funny that in a couple of like communities that I kind of watch, that all of a sudden they're getting infighting, and I find it funny. And
like
I'm
what?
also glad that we have not succumbed to any sort of infighting.
That
Oh
Adam's a
no.
goober. Oh my God, he's so silly. Put him up, Adam.
This is war!
Yeah, put him up.
Well, I mean, more like, you know, me saying that somebody like Jack Gunsky, why he's a dirty cheater, and I've seen him altering the scores on Quippers United.
Oh, and I said 8 mothers. I have to correct myself. Heimdall has 9 mothers.
She got a lot of mothers.
Oh.
He got a lot of mothers. They got a lot of mothers.
Yeah, it was Gulp bore him, Greep bore him, Gripe bore him, Istia bore him, Ergyarfa bore him, Ulfrun bore him, Angira bore him, Imd bore him, Atla bore him, Yamsaksa bore him.
Well, he's just no person to be entertained. Everybody bores him. But
These were all his mothers.
slap.
Ah, see, Kefki gets the waka waka as well.
Waka
Yep.
waka.
Watch out for them tomatoes. I'll have a stand outside the show.
Look, I like maters. That's fine.
Yes, I like Naders as well.
No, maters. I don't like. Wait,
Oh, I
what?
thought you said Ralph Nader. Yeah, I voted
No,
for him.
no,
What?
no Ralph Naders. We've had enough storms. No.
No.
I don't even know who that is. See, you're dating yourself, Adam. You're making
Oh, no.
political jokes. You're dating this show. How dare
There
you?
you go. And you know what? That means I get old tomatoes. Oh no! You see
I'll
what
give
you
you an
did? You opened up
ultimatum in a
the
minute.
can.
There is one joke that is technically dating, but it is also something that I think ends up being funny, even though it's a dated joke. All the Bob Doles talking about Bob Dole doing Bob Dole things. It definitely dates the comedy because
I
Bob
do
Dole
think
being
Bob
Bob Dole
Dole.
doing Bob Dole things
I think Bob
is
Dole approves of that Bob Dole joke.
yeah is a very very specific reference to a political figure, but it was just the ridiculousness of Bob Dole always referring to Bob Dole and Bob Dole.
Who's Bob Dole?
Bob Dole didn't know the word I, me, we, or us.
Who is Bob Dole?
It's a human politician. It's just what the politician.
He's an old, yeah,
Bob
he's an
Dole
old
was Bob
politician.
Dole.
Bob Dole was indeed Bob Dole.
And Bob Dole would always let you know that Bob Dole was Bob Dole.
What does sock it to me mean?
Suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me. Give a little respect, just a little bit. Woo, yeah. Sorry.
And Sock It To Me was a catchphrase
Suck it
of
to me,
a
Towers.
character. That's Nakatomi Towers.
Oh,
I thought you said socket to the towers. I'm like, Jesus, what kind
whoa,
of show are
it's
you
too
on?
soon. Hey, yo.
That's a 9/11 reference.
You see how we can jump around so easily, so nimbly, We're like kittens.
So easily, so nimbly. The way you said that was so funny. Oh, Lord. I really thought that's what you said. I was like, where the hell is this going? Oh, God.
I have no idea.
Mm, that's okay. I don't think anybody does.
No. It's a roller coaster. Roller coaster of a show.
Your face is a roller coaster.
It is. It
It's a
is.
But yeah.
roller coaster of pain.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So it's that roller coaster from Nothing But Trouble, where they toss you into the meat grinder.
Yes, yes,
Have you
yeah,
seen that movie?
yes. I love that movie.
That movie's scary as shit.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm never going. I hate driving through small towns now. I'm
Just
not getting
don't get a
taken for a hot
ticket.
dog. Yeah,
Don't
hell
go.
no. I'm proud. I'm just fucking. You're gonna look at me and like this motherfucker's up to something.
And for those who don't know, Sock It To Me was from Martin's Laughing.
Martin?
Martin.
Dean
Wait until
Martin?
Martin comes.
Right. No, it was
Wait
not
till Martin
Dean.
comes.
It was Dick Martin. Dick Martin's Laughing, right?
Dick Martin?
I think it was Dick Martin's
Was it
Laughing.
like a catchphrase?
Yeah, it was the catchphrase of Judy Carn on Laughing. Oh, it was Rowan
Judy
and Martin's Laughing.
Garland?
And it was
No,
No.
Judy Garland.
it was
Sorry.
Dick Martin. That was the person. It was Dick Martin's Laughing, but it was called Rowan and Martin's Laughing because it was Dan Rowan and Dick Martin.
Wait, the laughing. That's the one. Is that the one where they have the doors or the lockers, and they open them up, and they're like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And the other one's like, "Hey, I don't know." Response, and then the other one's like, "Ah, joke."
No, it
Punchline.
was sketch comedy.
Okay.
It was old sketch comedy.
Dude, that's what we are. The minions.
Yeah, it was the show that was then
Mm,
later made fun of by the Muppet Show. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the Muppet Show's stuff comes from laughing.
I'm not a sketch comedy. Your face is a sketch
No,
comedy,
you're a
Adam.
goober
You're
muppet.
you're a goober. What did you call me?
Ha ha! Gotcha.
What did you call me? That's racist.
Okay, see, that's okay. I'm gonna write that down. That's a nice doodle exercise for tomorrow. Draw us as Muppets.
Oh Lord.
Nice. The question is, which Muppet would we most be like?
Oh shit. Yeah, that's true.
And it's an important question. In order to draw us as Muppets, you'd need to know which Muppet each of us is most like.
Well, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be able to show it off without y'all's permissions, you know.
Yep.
But I can tell you right now, Terry would probably be the easiest.
Oh?
Yeah, he's just a foot.
Ah.
Easy peasy. You know, I was kind of doing like some light sketching and around Terry because it's like, how do you depict Terry as an avatar, like an animated avatar, and in terms of like other uh, visualizations that I might need this character to operate with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tier is giving me issues only because how exactly to portray a giant Skullamans. Um,
It's not a giant Skullamans. He's a regular sized Skullamans.
oh, I thought he was like a super tall.
No.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
You know
This is no. This is the important part of the whole, you know, super sketchy type stuff. Just really random drawings.
There's a giant. The only tall
Hey,
one is Lodimer. He's
you're
tall.
Just
you're an issue
because he's
too.
black doesn't mean that he's sketchy, Adam. Jeez, come on.
No, whoa. He's stand by me sketchy.
Stand by me. Boom, boom, boom.
um, well, no, because I think his character, because I'm pretty much drawing it from his character in Soul Calibur, so and he made his character very tall. So,
Mm.
Well, he's a normal sized Scully Bones.
well, I'll take that. You're an issue too.
You're a
You
big
and
tall
Loki.
hat. What about me and Lodi? We ain't do nothing.
Yeah, ferrets are difficult to draw.
I'm sorry. And
I don't
Lodi,
know.
you
It's a
were just
Muppet
gonna
parrot,
draw a
though.
big tall shadow.
Well, there you go. Now is Kefki Lothi? That's gonna be an interesting Muppet to look. Oh yeah. I mean, okay, with Terry though, I did depict him a few times as like just like a human, but with like a foot, like his logo on a T-shirt. And
Mm-hmm.
I did ask him. I'm like, hey, would it be offensive to you if I put you in a crocodile Dundee hat? And he's like, no. So I drew him in the crocodile Dundee hat.
Did you have him saying, "That's not a knife.
Yeah,
This is a
dude,
knife"?
it's super fucking like how can you tell this dude's Australian? Well, he has the crocodile Dundee hat. He has the fucking knife. He has them goofy boots. He has the cargo shorts. But he also has the t-shirt with the foot. And
I
his
like the
Nice.
sketch
Australian
of
leather.
him in the foot costume with the bone hat. I like that one.
Well, I've even drawn him with like a robot. Like he's like a
Uh,
crane. Yeah, like he's like in the center of like this robot, and because I was thinking, because he's really good at fighters, and there's a character in Tekken where it's like a wooden character, and then at one point Pac-Man is operating him. So I just took that and I was like, oh yeah, just make a cool looking robot and have Terry operating it, and that's him. Like I said, it's This is the creation process.
He turned Terry into a mecha anime.
Yeah. It's fun. But yeah, and then, Kefki and Lothi. So, and there's me. Some short, goofy looking nerd guy. Wow, it really is going to be Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Nice.
Yeah. And see, all the more reasons why we need the Muppets, because that way we can have Sanguine on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but was there any news topics that were happening this week? That kinda
Well,
caught your attention?
there's one thing that I just found hilarious when it was brought up yesterday. So I'm tempted to bring it up today and see what you guys think about it, if you haven't heard about it yet.
Ooh.
It was a thing put forward by an Oklahoma state senator. So state level, not federal level senator. And it was a bill to put certain restrictions on journalists within Oklahoma. So do you guys want to hear what the restrictions were?
On journalists?
On journalists. And then you guys tell me if you figure out what I think is happening. And if you agree with what I think is happening. So the restrictions were that journalists and journalism, when done improperly, when used improperly, can cause a lot of harm to culture. So in order to encourage the proper usage of journalism, journalists would have to be registered. They'd have to have a background check. They would have to be tested for both a psychological profile as well as urinalysis to make sure that they aren't addicted. They would have to take a 2-week training course on proper journalistic ethics and use, to include avoiding becoming a propagandist. They would have to have a waiting period for their license, of course. That's fairly standard for most bit of licensing. There's a small waiting period. You would have to, if you break any of these, it would require a large fine as well as punishments up to and including prison time, depending on the severity of the breach. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else off the top of my head. I think those were the major restrictions. So, do you guys notice what all these restrictions have in common?
Kind of a limiting information coming out.
That wasn't what they have in common. What they have in common is they're all restrictions that people keep on saying that we need to place upon the Second Amendment. Because people need background checks in order to purchase a firearm. People are saying that people should need to do a psychological profile in order to purchase a firearm. That we need to test for substance abuse in order to purchase a firearm. That there needs to be a waiting list. That people need to be licensed in order to purchase a firearm. That there needs to be courses, mandatory courses on the proper use and maintenance of firearms, and to avoid improper use of firearms. Every single restriction that the dude was trying to place upon the First Amendment was a rip from legislation put forward to restrict the Second Amendment. And I think that there's a very specific purpose to this. I could be
Why?
wrong. I think what's happening is that the senator's putting forward this in order, ideally, from his perspective, to actually get it passed, then get it challenged in the courts, then fight it all the way up through the courts until it is deemed unconstitutional that those restrictions are a abrogation of a right, an infringement of a right, if you would. So that then, immediately after that gets determined by the courts, they're able to then challenge every restriction on the Second Amendment with any of those characteristics, pointing to this bit of case history, saying, see, this case history says that this is an infringement of a right. So if you apply these things to any other right, it would also naturally be an infringement upon that right.
Why would they do this?
As a means of getting rid of all the Second Amendment infringements. And
Wow.
preventing them from being done again. Because the moment that those restrictions are viewed, as they should be, as restrictions, which, when you're applying them to the First Amendment, they're more likely to be called out. In fact, many of the people that are advocating for those exact measures when it comes to the Second Amendment are currently coming out of the woodwork saying that it is a horrific infringement upon the First Amendment to place these restrictions. So you make them argue all the points that you've been arguing for so long and they've been turning deaf ears to, in order to protect this, and then you use the case history in order to overturn the restrictions that they wanted to ignore. Because once it's case history that these are infringements, they're infringements regardless of what right you apply them to. So I think it's fairly intelligent for the person, if that is what they're doing.
Fucking interesting strategic move, sir.
Yeah. It's a fantastic bit of planning, if that is the intention of it. If that isn't, then it sucks. If it is, though, yeah, I'm all for it. Because fuck them for trying to do those infringements, and it is hilarious just turning the infringements completely on their head and making them argue against them. Because all the same people that have been saying that it isn't an infringement to require licensing for firearms are saying that it is an infringement to say that journalists should have to be registered. That way you're able to tell the difference between a actual journalist and just some schmuck that has a podcast. Because a lot of the journalists are saying that people that just have podcasts shouldn't be counted as journalists.
Do you think it stems from a lot of those first auditors or First Amendment auditors type people?
The original bill, like I said, I think that it stems entirely from the senator going, I'm sick and tired of these restrictions being placed on the Second Amendment. I can make them argue against these restrictions, and I can make them call these restrictions unconstitutional. And if I'm able to do that at a high enough level, then I'm able to get rid of all their restrictions that they've been placing that I know are also unconstitutional.
See, and that's kind of the thing that I get with. I mean, if that's his logic and maneuvers, yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
You know,
like I
I
said,
I think it's a good idea.
Camel thinks that the guy just lucked into it. I think that with all of the restrictions that he's placing on them being one for ones of the restrictions being placed on the right to bear arms, it seems unlikely that it is just a mistake or a happy convenience or accident that it has this one for one category. If there's even one thing out of place, then I'd go, okay, yeah, it's not this going on. But the fact that every single one of them lines up perfectly.
Well, what do you think about? Okay, so if they bring up like, um, okay, so the idea of the, what if they find a workaround to getting the license, right?
Well,
Would
if
that be
they
a tell in a workaround for firearm licenses, or is it
well, the thing is that if they allow it to pass, then that would be consistent with their view that, or if the people that view those restrictions as not a violation of a human right when it comes to firearms don't view this as a violation, well, that notes that they have at least some element of intellectual consistency, which that's important information in and of itself to my mind. Currently, we have no indication of that. In fact, we have the opposite because we have a bunch of people that have advocated for restrictions on firearms. These same restrictions then being applied to another right they're saying are a violation of that right. So that is them trying to have it both ways, saying these aren't violations and these are violations. They either are or they aren't. If someone is saying that they aren't violations in either, and that, okay, I'm just worried about how they will determine what is and isn't propaganda, that would be an argument, and that's a very different argument. And that would be one that could be had, but since I don't think the intention is to actually have this stay as law, even if it does get passed, I don't think that's as interesting of a thought process. But if there was someone who was okay with it and they just wanted additional workarounds,
Here we go. Sorry. You're fine.
then that would be an argument for having the same sort of additional workarounds in the case of those being applied to the Second Amendment. But I think I've just put Kefki to sleep once, so
oh
I should
no.
probably
No,
move
I'm
on.
sorry. I don't know anything
Well,
about
hey,
current events and stuff like that. It depresses the hell out of me. So
that's
I
fine.
don't.
I
Well,
put
this
her to
isn't so
sleep in the
much.
first half. You put
This
her
isn't
to sleep in the
the.
second. Now it's
What?
Kefki's turn to put us to sleep.
This isn't the normal sort of current events that's the world's fucked. This is more of a ha 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 funny joke.
Ah.
Yeah, they're getting their comeuppance, so to speak. But you're right. It is not uh as exciting. You know, there's no explosions and
Well,
um.
some people are going fairly apoplectic. Does that count as an explosion?
I think one of
Fairly
the
what?
secretaries had explosive diarrhea.
Ew.
Well, I mean, is that's
That's
exciting?
a mess.
Yeah.
Ew.
What?
want to know about that.
Didn't either, but look, we're trying to entice it for the
There ain't
audience.
nothing enticing about that. That's disgusting.
Actually, speaking of
If you're
enticing,
trying to entice people to consume diarrhea,
Oh,
well, I
God.
never said anything about consuming.
No.
well, how else do you consume media? Or
Oh.
how else do you handle media if it's not consuming media?
Oh, okay. I
And
get
since
it
you're
now.
putting it out as media, you are enticing people to consume diarrhea, or at least media about diarrhea, which seems a bit strange.
Look, we're not Germany.
So anyway, I saw this chipmunk outside, and it was so cool looking. Yeah. It wasn't a chipmunk though; it was a squirrel, and he was doing squirrel things, and yeah. I just didn't want to talk about diarrhea. Sorry.
Well, now we're
Well, too
talking
bad.
about
Have you
food.
ever seen a chipmunk have diarrhea?
Oh dear God,
Oh
poor
no.
chipmunk.
Um. Shit.
Oh
Yes,
God.
that's what we were just talking about.
I know. Damn it! And it was a poor choice of words. But no, I think actually, I think today is National Popcorn Day.
There's a National Popcorn Day.
Yo, there's National like Cookie Day, and there's a whole bunch of goofy shit that they put out
I
there.
want a cookie.
So if you have it today, then you
Hold
get to see the undigested corn kernels.
Hold on, the rare time that I'm gonna actually look this shit up because I
Wait, what?
He's looking up to see if it is
Oh.
or the National Popcorn Day.
Huh?
And I was just bringing
No,
it
it was
back
yesterday. Damn, I was fucking a day late.
Yeah, it's after
See, I was late.
midnight, so.
So then it's absolutely the day that you see the undigested corn kernels.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Just to tie everything back together.
Awesome. There you go. Tying it back to poops.
Yep.
And corn. Well, at least it's whole. Oh. No.
And Green Badger now wants cookies.
Well,
Yeah, I
this
want a cookie
depicts the
too.
show perfectly, or at least the comedian. Shitty and
I never got
corny.
Badger, I never got my Halloween cookies. Like every year I try to buy those little Halloween cookies that Pillsbury Doughboy makes, you know, the ones that have the bats and the ghosts and the pumpkins and the witches. I try to get those every year. I haven't been able to find them. Little sugar cookies. I want some Halloween
The
cookies.
sugar cookie logs that you slice off and
Yeah, they're so good. They're so good. And you can eat them raw, and they're yummy that way too. They're so good. I just like to eat them without making the cookies sometimes. You can do that because it says on the package it says safe to eat without cooking.
Yeah, and don't they have like little images on the middle? In the middle?
Yeah. They have the pumpkin and the goose and yeah,
The goose?
a goose.
Like a
You know,
Canadian goose?
no, like a goose. Woo! Halloween goose.
No, I think they honk.
getting
No,
goosed
they
means that your
haunt.
ass was just grabbed.
No, GHOOST. Goosed.
A double oost.
Well,
GH
you
double oost.
spelled goose, but then you said goosed, which wait,
No,
No,
not GHOOST. Goosed.
that
there's
is
only
goosed,
one
which
O.
yeah, there's only one O for ghost. You're talking about getting your ass grabbed.
No, I'm talking about a
Which,
goose.
following up the conversation about diarrhea with ass grabbing, that's a bad combo.
Oh no. No, do not do that. I would caution against that. Hey, and that's how you
At
die
least
of
wear a pair
dysentery.
of gloves.
Yeah. We don't have
That's
to go.
still,
We don't have to go back to.
you can't buy the Halloween cookies anymore, can you?
I think it's out of season now.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, now you can.
Man. I want a pumpkin cookie.
You gotta wait till the once you start seeing the spirit stores spring up. Wow. In in November, I think early November, you start seeing them.
Yep.
Yeah, then you might start seeing some pumpkin and ghost and or goose and
Yeah, goose cookie.
I think
He's
there's like
got
there has to be a third one, like a
in stream
skeleton.
time. In stream time, these shaped cookie dough. They
And
got
you mean
yeah.
early October, not November.
I want one.
Oh yeah, October. Oh wait, no, actually no, even before that. I
It'd
mean,
be late September, early
yeah,
October.
I was gonna say these goofballs, they're fucking. It's fucking July, and they're, hey, here's some Halloween stuff, and it's like, geez, dude,
Look, Halloween is all year round. Yes.
spooky, scary,
Oh,
spelly tent.
pumpkin ones too. I want a pumpkin one. I just want a sugar cookie. Damn it.
You can still get sugar cookies, just not the as decorative sugar
It
cookies.
tastes better with the pumpkins and goose is on them.
Soon you'll be able to get the Easter sugar cookies.
Yeah,
I don't want to eat a bunny.
But rabbits are delicious.
I was just gonna
Oh,
ask.
yeah.
You know, we were talking earlier about these like smaller. Have any of you eaten rabbit?
Yes,
Yes.
many times. It's delicious.
I will never eat rabbit again, though.
I want to try a rabbit.
Rabbit's tasty.
It's not bad. It's just I can't eat rabbit. I had a whole bunch of pet rabbits, and I ended up having rabbit for dinner one night, and I figured out where all my rabbits went.
No,
Yeah.
for me, I'm getting flashbacks from
Nom.
Monty Python's Holy Grail, and it had teeth and fangs. So you know what?
Gotta
If
use
I'm
the
gonna
holy
eat a
hand
rabbit,
grenade.
yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that motherfucker.
Yeah, teeth.
No, wow, yeah. Eating.
But it sounds like we're kind of winding down.
Yeah.
So
I guess so.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry for falling asleep. I didn't mean to. I'm just so sleepy today.
no
Hold on.
worries, it's happened to many other people.
Whoa, hold on. Wait, Kefki, you are asleep.
Yeah, I'm
Talking?
asleep right now.
Whoa, are you?
Yeah.
Does it feel like you're swimming?
No,
Oh.
it doesn't feel like I'm swimming. Why would I be swimming?
I don't know, because you're asleep.
I don't swim in my sleep. I don't swim when I'm awake. Why would I swim when I'm asleep?
Kind of like a floaty type of thing.
Toss the holy hand grenade of Antioch at you.
Whoa! As long as you count to the proper number.
But shall we go with the parting words?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, Kefki, you ready? Let's rock, paper, scissors it. Ready?
Okay. Go.
1, 2, 3, paper.
Matt. Scissors.
Oh,
You gonna go again? Ready?
okay.
1, 2, 3,
Three,
paper.
rock.
Oh, it's just-
Damn, that,
Alright.
that was a fucking real one.
Alright,
Yeah,
ready?
that one actually worked. There was no delay. You set it on top of each other.
Alright, one more time. 1, 2, 3, rock.
Paper.
There you go. You win. Paper wraps rock.
Okay. Wait, so
1, 2, 5.
no, oh no. Look,
Also,
Lothi, you're
find
not
it-
Terry. Let's not do this whole. Oh, sorry.
oh no, you first.
No, I was gonna say like, yeah, that's now we're getting into like Street Fighter, tournament stuff, and it's like go 5 rounds, and we could do rock paper scissors all night. But what were you, Sanguine?
Parting words.
Yes.
And yeah,
No.
perfect words.
Wait, that's what you're gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say, technically, it was now the best out of two, or the best 2 out of 3 got to choose who went first, and Kefki chose you after winning 2.
Oh, so Kefki wins
Yay! Yes.
and she goes first?
No, you
Nope,
go
she
first because I
chose
chose
who
you.
went first.
Oh shit. Shit. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm not as scared to go first. I've gone first a lot of times in the past, and it's not gonna be my first going first. So, supposed should go first right now.
I feel like those are his final words, and he's not adding anything else onto it.
I thought he was going to go first and second.
First, hey, thanks again, Sanguine, for letting me hang out with you, man. Dude, I love hanging out with you on Fridays. It's always a fun
Always
time.
fun.
And Kefki, you're a goober. And
No.
okay. Uh, oh, hey, think of a game we're gonna play on Monday because we're gonna open with our match.
Oh, okay.
So it's me versus you on
Okay.
Monday.
Dino Rex.
Oh shit. On Minions of the Zoo. For chat, I want to thank everybody for joining. Everybody in the future, I want to thank for joining. But everybody else, I love you all and God bless.
Mm-hmm. And Kefki?
Ba-ba-da-ba-da, uh, uh, shit, sorry.
Mod spelled backwards is dumb.
There we go.
Are we going back to shit? We already had the diarrhea and shit
No!
conversation.
Oh,
No! No!
You wanted to
no.
navigate away from it, and then you bring up shit again.
Don't take the wooden nickels. And if you do find a wooden nickel, then give me the wooden nickel. And then, yeah, and I am undefeated. Yay! Okay, yes. Yeah, Minions of the Zoo was filmed before a live studio audience. Yeah, in Minion Vision.
And I'll leave off with my standard of if you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you. Also, everyone, do remember that on Tuesdays we end up just bullshitting in the Discord, so feel free to hop in then. With that, have a good night, all. The zoo is closed.
Night!
Night.
And now I click the end stream, and it takes a